They were here with a fucking plat player, proper scrub with a ex-masters from Overwatch 1. What do you do to
So,
support?
so I can't remember the seasons because I've changed it that many times around now. But let's say I don't know, season 17 or whatever the fuck. Towards the end of Overwatch 1, just before Goats Meta and just during after Goats Meta, I came up to Masters rank in support specifically. Which was my main, and I come from a background of scrims, so like think Trank League, think OCC, that sort of thing. And off the back of that, I played a bit of tank as well. Admittedly, I only got high diamond in tank, not so good as support. I was mainly the shot caller, the ult tracker, that sort of thing. Support.
We're going to discuss every hero and how they're pretty much bullshit.
Say X Masters, you should specify I'm support, mate, because
No, he's a
those
support
DPS,
player.
those DPS Masters players, bro, they're a different breed.
We'll start with Diva, this little fucking slag. I'm not going to lie, from my opinion, you can literally jump on any cunt you want with this bitch and kill them. What are your thoughts on that, Trouble?
So, looking at an Overwatch 1 perspective, Diva was basically the centerpiece of a dive composition. Probably one of the better off tanks in the game. So you were right. Yeah, you jump on someone's tits and you kill them. That's literally it. What she brought is she'd be paired with someone like a Winston, right? Or maybe towards the end of Overwatch, I've seen her paired with a Doomfist before. I've seen her paired with a Ball, but that was age. But you could pair her with just about anything and it would work.
But
She has a lot
solo
of
tank
burst.
Diva is so fucking AIDS to face sometimes. 'Cause I play Diva sometimes just to kill people. It's literally like you dive on the backline, missile their face off, and they're dead. Now we move on to Doomfist.
Doomfist.
I'm just gonna like he's shit. I put him in this shit category. It's fucking awful, bro. Like the most non-threatening thing in the world is a Doomfist fully charged punch into a wall. It's fuck all. Like you can't have always been this shit. I know he's a DPS. Fucking hell, making him a tank was a bit of a mistake. He doesn't do anything. He just dives into the backline and dies, or he gets like a two-man punch, and that doesn't actually kill them. What's his purpose?
So my thoughts on Doomfist are a bit weird because obviously he was a DPS when I played ranked, right? I'd never played him personally as a DPS. When I do play tank, sort of in Overwatch 2, you know me, I don't really play ranked. You wouldn't catch me on him. He's got a very niche play style that you need to be really good at him in order to get any value out of him. And it was the same on DPS, but obviously, there's two DPS now. There's one tank. But Doomfist, he fits into the dive category. So generally, you jump on someone, you kill them, or you jump their backline, you kill them. The problem with that in Overwatch 2 is while you're doing that, your team has no tank. So unless you're getting immediate value out of that, it's bad. The only thing I think Doomfist has going for him is his mobility. He can get around pretty quickly. He can disengage quickly. He can peel quickly. But a lot of people who play Doomfist I've seen, like as a tank now, they don't know how to peel properly, or they don't peel at all.
Don't know how to use that tech, because
So they push into the enemy team and die, and then it's GG, right?
even though Doomfist is proper shit, I can use his tech sometimes to literally get out of things that would have killed me instantly. Like you can literally like combine all of his abilities into one, like shift, fucking block into the air, and you hit the skybox, right click, and you go across the map. It's quite easy to fucking use, but every time you get a Doomfist on your team, they are shit.
He's all about
99% of the time. And they
He's all
won't
about
switch
CD
Doom.
management, and that's it. Yeah, unless you're really good at him, you're not going to get much value out of him. But even if you are really good at him, generally there's other tanks that will do what he does, but better.
Pretty much.
Unless you're like a
I
turbo,
think Ball will be better than him. He's got more health and he's more annoying. Well, we'll get to Ball when we get to Ball.
We'll get to Ball when we get to Ball.
He's an interesting fucking dickhead.
I'd rather have a Doom than a Ball.
Anyway,
yeah.
Junker Queen. I don't have any problems with this cow. I would put her in the fair category, but I don't know what you would think about that.
I'd say she's middle of the pack. Like I say, she wasn't around when I played, but now, like as I've seen her in quick plays, I've seen her when I dabbled my foot in ranked. She she's like a centerpiece of a death ball sort of composition. Obviously, she doesn't bring a shield, but that's fine because she gives what is it that shout, which
Shout
gives
and the
everyone
speed
10
and shit.
power and a bit of speed as well. Yeah. She's also got that pull potential. Not as good as Hog, but she's got a bit of a pull potential. And she carries Anna's not Nano, Anna's anti as well, which is pretty interesting. So she's
Yeah,
she's pretty
that
good.
that fucking ult literally can kill an entire team if you haven't got anything like to deny it. That is one of the strongest ults, I think.
Problem about it is, yeah, it's very difficult to counter it because if
Unless you
you
got
say you're
Kiriko,
putting
then yeah.
yeah, I mean unless you got a Kiriko, but Kiriko's bullshit. We assume you got like a visual up on the screen for the
Yeah, like I'm
viewers.
literally wrote it in my drunk writing, my mouse, so it looks like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It's just
very
gay
good.
shit and fair.
Uh,
And we don't need to discuss much about Mauga because he's a fucking gay dickhead.
I think Mauga's just a testament to lazy character design. I like the whole idea of you've got your two miniguns and generally, you press one over the other. One of them does more damage if they're on fire. That's a cool idea, but in execution, every Mauga player I've ever seen just holds down both their left mouse button and just looks at enemies
Makes
and they
the
die.
other tank's life fucking misery. Like the other tank will not play the game most of the time if they've got a Mauga because he's spraying the shield for
And I
fucking
would call him
years.
an off tank as well, but the reason I would go so far as to say main tank is because he's basically built like a fucking. He's built
He
like a
can
building.
survive
Like
a lot of shit. If he like screams at a certain time, you can just deny Hog's ult. Shit like that. You can probably deny Ramacha's ult. Never tried it, like. But you probably could. Ramacha's
as far
ult's
as
like one of the
denying it
strongest
goes.
things.
If I was a Ramatra and I was ulting, honestly, I'm just walking past Smoker. I'm gonna go kill his team. Like, all right, move out my way, you fat bastard. I'm going to
Even
kill
when
your
if I'm playing Hog and Mauga comes up to me, I just ignore his shout and kill him. He's such a shit character. It's a joke. Without his shout, he's nothing.
He's just been buffed.
I don't give a shit if he's buffed. The only thing that's like actually useful is his shout. It's a shit ability. It's very bullshit, and it just makes no sense.
I think Mauga's got a very similar problem to Widowmaker, and now without going into that too much now, the problem is if you buff him, he becomes meta, and you have to pick him, which is how he was when he first came out, to my understanding. I wasn't playing at that time. And if you nerf him, he just becomes absolute dog water to you, and no one ever picks him, which is what he was for a little while, to my understanding. So you can't buff him and you can't nerf him. He's just there. He doesn't bring any helpful utility. There's nothing cool about him.
If you
The whole
compare it to
burning
like
thing.
fucking the other minigun character of Paladins, it's just totally different. Like I just don't understand how you make a character like Brain Dead. His fucking
I try
abilities are
not to
just
compare him
really
to the
stupid.
Paladin's characters. You could draw a lot of conclusions in Overwatch's case in that case, but the only utility he brings to the table, apart from the life steal shout thing, I believe it is his cage, and you compare his cage up with a few
Like
ults.
everything pretty much. And it lasts for like fucking what, 8 seconds it feels like.
You could pair his cage up with Bastion. You could pair it up with
I'll look up
like
how long his cage lasts after this video. I'm
I
pretty sure
guess
it
you
is
could
like
you
eight
could pair it with
seconds.
Dragon Blade. You could pair it with basically any DPS ult.
His cage lasts for fucking ages though, no? It feels like it does, because like literally it's instant death if you get in that cage.
I'll tell you right now how long it lasts. 2 sec, guys, because I can just pull this up. I'm pretty quick on this shit. Unlike my mate
Man's
George
just
here.
crossing shit off on that on the list.
So his cage it lasts for 8 seconds.
I thought so. It feels like that. That's normally the average ult
If I
time.
had to guess, I'd have said 10, but no, 8 seconds.
That's the average ult time for most games.
I think it's probably one. I'm gonna say something controversial. I like it. I like it's the ult because you can pair it with a lot of things, and also if you don't use it right, you're dead. Like you
Yeah.
kill yourself by using it.
Well, actually, I've seen people do it, like use it to deny point, which is
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. Like, there's interesting ways of using it, but if you fuck it up, you're dead. Like
I just don't like the rest of his fucking character because he's bullshit. Like Hog's ulting you into a fucking corner, into the stratosphere, like where you're stuck on a roof, like in the ceiling. He's chain gunning you, and you're like, nah, fuck off, I'm shouting. He just denies all of it.
You know what it
Crazy.
is, George? I reckon what happened was someone was watching Moana over at Blizzard the day before they were coming up with a new hero concept, and he comes into the room and he's got the perfect hero idea because he's just watched Moana like 3 times on loop, and he's got an obsession with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's what happened with Malga.
What's going on, Arisa? I fucking hate Arisa. Her two abilities are push you back, or you're not charging me as Ryan. Utter bullshit bitch. She has no drop off on her gun. She can spray like snipers and shit from miles away if she wanted to. She can push people back with two abilities, deny ults and shit like that. She's such a boring cunt tank. Literally the noob's tank. When I first played Overwatch, I thought, fucking hell, this bitch is crazy. But she's boring as fuck. I'd rather play Winston.
Eris is a funny one, and you're right there. By the way, she is a very noob-friendly tank in her current iteration. I remember when you started playing, you basically exclusively.
That's what I
played her.
mean.
I remember.
Like, I like, oh, she's easy, but like, she's not fun.
Eris is an interesting one because in Overwatch 1, when I knew her, she had ammo on a gun instead of this heat-up mechanic. I didn't like that personally. She had like a mini. She had a mini Azaria ult as a right click. She could throw out a little tennis ball and suck people into it. And her ult was different as well. She'd throw down this drum and it basically gave everyone mercy damage boost. Honestly, the thing about Arisa was she came out when everyone was expecting Doomfist to come out, and it's like they threw it together last minute to go, haha, you guys were wrong. Doomfist isn't coming out. It's Arisa. It's like she was thrown together last minute because my understanding was her left click was just a retexture of Bastion. A remodel rather, but it's based off of him. She obviously had Zarya's right click. She had Mercy's damage boost ult. Fortify, very lazy ability. Very good ability, very lazy ability. But now in Overwatch 2, she's all about displacement and anti-displacement. So Fortify's like that's her what's the word? That's her utility. She brings that to the table, no other tank really brings that. It's cool, but it's annoying to play against. It's annoying to play against. And she used to have a shield as well. She doesn't have that anymore. So the only reason you bring her now, to my understanding, is for
Is
the
to be
fortify.
a cunt.
Just the fortify, man.
Like,
You got your spear. You got like a little mini diva eating thing with a javelin spin.
I don't find her like fun or fun to play against ever in my life. I'll be
She's
the
just like
first person to
handy
switch
tank.
to Metro just to kill the cow. Just to make a switch. Just burn the cow. That's all I have to say about Reese, to be fair. You don't really say much about her. She's
Nothing
literally
much to
a
say about her. She's
dickhead
just
tank.
point and click
But
tank.
my bro Ramatra, I can't say anything bad about Ramatra.
You know
Because
what, Jord? I'm going to echo that. I think Ramatra is a testament to good hero design.
he's got good backstory, which is a good help. Good help. Good
He's racist.
abilities. Can play brawl and poke. Very unique tank. I don't think I can debate much about him. I think he's actually good.
Yeah, he's got like that. He can fit into a death ball. He can fit into
Like, I
anti
like
dive.
playing Ramatra, so it's like nothing to say about him. That's just biased, really, but he's
He's as
quite
main
useful.
tank as it gets, but you can play him like an off tank. I like that.
If I mean,
Obviously, he wasn't in Overwatch 1, so I can't comment too much on him professionally. I'll
as
say
soon as you
professionally.
go in that brawl and people are next to you, you are killing them. Like that is
His
just
ult, man,
funny.
out of every
Combined his
Overwatch
ult
2
with
hero,
Kiriko's ult is fucking crazy. You just
out
kill
of every
everything.
Overwatch 2 hero I've played since coming back to this game, Ramatra's easily my favourite. He's
Apart,
so
he's
fun to
one
play.
of my top tanks.
So fun to play.
Obviously, now we go to Reinhardt. I can't say anything bad about Reinhardt. Come on, man.
He's
Like,
right.
all three of my favorite tanks are right next to each other on my list. So like,
So
the match,
Reinhardt is he
he's
is
shit. He's shit. Like, He's got so many counters, like pretty much junk Bastion. Your shield is gone,
Well, I
simulator.
have fond
Fuck
memories
off.
of Ryan because Ryan, out of everyone we've discussed so far, unless you count Devo, you can't really. He's the first person who fit into the goats category. So when I would play tank to like in the goats meta sort of season, I would have to play Ryan basically all the time.
He's a goat,
Um,
bro.
he is a ghost, but he also fit into the goats comp, which is what I'm
Oh,
getting at. And this is
shit.
basically the king of the death ball comps. And it was fun because instead of playing the traditional Rhine where you hold your right click up and you defend your Bastion or your whoever the fuck, right? You would literally just run into the enemy team and hold left click all game, and you'd get about 3 shatters a fight, and he was so fun to play. But now he's definitely a lot weaker.
As
He still
main
fits.
tank, he's definitely weaker.
He still
I can
fits into the meta, sort of, from what I
if
understand.
I
I keep up to
understand if
date
he had
a
an
little
off
bit.
tank, he'd be way more you fucking useful.
Yes, he is designed to have someone there with him. But
Because he
he was
can't peel.
also
He can literally cannot peel. This guy
he's
can't
also
do that.
probably the reason they removed the second tank because they removed, to my understanding, they removed the second tank to get rid of stuff like goats, to get rid of double shield. That was a big one when Sigma came up. Double shield, Rhine, Sigma. You'd put a bastion behind them and you'd sit on the payload. There's nothing the enemy team could do. Nothing.
Which is
They'd have to
crazy.
ult to get
Like
buff.
all the time I've had fun playing Overwatch 2, like proper good fun, is open queue. And that's not the main mode. But like Ryan can
Go,
go with
go.
Zarya and shit like that, so pretty much you can do what the fuck he wants. And you can just
God, how
combine them with
many
different tanks.
times have you went into this open queue and went 3 tank 2 support though?
I want every open queue game. If I got free tank to support, that'll be the funniest games ever. I
I
just go
tell you
hog
what,
every game.
if anyone is still watching, right, and if anyone who is still watching played, I think it was during 2019, early 2020, just before Overwatch 2 came out, in the midst of the Goats meta, they'll tell you right now that what you're playing in open queue right now is like a neutered Goats meta, and it was so fun for a while, and then it just got drawn out for too long.
Yeah, it definitely would get drawn out.
But he's, in my opinion, he's probably one of the better designed heroes out there. You got your big shield, you got your
He's
charge.
the
If you hit
begin.
someone with it, they're probably dead.
Reinhardt's the beginner tank like Soldier is the beginner DPS. That's what he's meant.
It's
Like,
just when you think of a tank, you think
that's
Ryan.
what I mean. He's the beginner tank. He teaches you the
You're
basics of the tank.
slow. You're even slow with your shield. But if you get up to someone and you get a chance to wail on them, they're dead. They're just, and if you
Like
pin them, they're dead.
when I first played the game, Soldier was my like beginner DPS.
And
He's easy, you understand.
I do want to take a minute real quick to talk about the Ryan versus Ryan matchup. In my opinion, there is very little more fun matchup you can have as a tank than when you're playing Ryan, the enemy's playing Ryan. It's like you two are having a little duel, right? It's always competitive because you both have your ult, you're both looking for that Earth Shatter, but both of you are aware that your opponent's got his Earth Shatter. And you're waiting for whoever drops their shield first, or you want your team to destroy their shield first. And it just comes down to either attrition or it comes down to the mind games. There's so many ways it goes, and the Ryan versus Ryan matchup is it's so fun. It's got a place in my heart, dude.
And
I love
also
Ryan.
and
Come
etc.
here.
Let's go to Roadhog. What a poor bastard. Roadhog is funny, but like he also feels like shit to like play against and etc. I don't know really know where I can put Hog. Because he is meant to be off tank, and playing him as main tank is like, yeah,
He's
every
definitely in
cooldown is
the
getting used on you, fuck off and die. I get antied every 2 seconds, get slept, get everything put on me. It's if he was an actual off tank, he'd work. But main tank, nah, he's fucked. I had to play cover 24/7. That's the only way you can play Hog. That's literally it.
So I never really played that much Hog when I would play ranked in Overwatch 1. But when I did, this is back when Hook 1.0 was a thing, or just afterwards. You know, everyone knows what Hook 1.0 is.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
you could
It's
hook someone around
fucked.
corners. You could hook someone across the map. Famously, if you hooked somebody and they teleported, like a Tracer recall, or they went through a Symmetra portal after a rework, they'd still get hooked to you. They'd be hooked around corners, through the map, through doors, around. They'd be hooked to you no matter what. Um, No, obviously that was a bug. It was unintended, but it was really, really fun, man. But now he's as off tank as it gets, and he's unfortunately a casualty of the removal of one of the tanks. He's meant to be played with another tank, and when there isn't another tank to be played with, he's just a big
Fat
up battery for
alt
the enemy team.
battery.
And I think Hog really is probably the reason why they added the 20% ult charge reduction to tanks. He's probably the reason, because
I'm
otherwise you're
pretty
just
sure he is
feeding
the
the enemy team
fattest
ult
fucking
charge.
tank in the game.
I think Mauger's fatter, but the thing is, Mauger at least he's got some offensive capability. Now, unless Roadhog's up your ass, he's not doing damage really. Unless he catches a hook and he one-shots your support, he's not really doing damage unless he lands a hook or he gets up to you. At which point your team's generally dealt with him.
Most of the time, the only reason I get an Overwatch, like an open queue, is to play Hog, because he is funny. But like, he is hard to play, because people just go Anna and fucking Bastions and
I think
every
he
fucking Hog counter in the book, pretty much. Just make it not
without
have fun.
counting reworks, he's probably one of the best fleshed out characters since Overwatch 1's launch.
Yeah, I like his
Obviously,
character as well.
he doesn't have to stand still anymore when he uses his little vape juice.
I mean, I
Unfortunately,
can
he lost
survive
his right
sometimes from
click.
absolute bullshit.
Lost his right click, but it's really fun to play him. I think he's one of the more satisfying tanks to play. When you land a hook on someone and you know they're dead, and they know they're dead, and it's just that second while they're getting dragged to you. That's satisfying. You land a
Now,
hook on an Ana, she's dead. She's dead, bro.
yeah, the 225 one to die instantly if you hook melee. Like
And the thing is,
Mercy,
even if
fucking
you
whatever.
don't one shot them, say they've got, I don't know, 300 health, even if you don't one shot them, you've displaced them, they're within an inch of their
Yeah,
life. And if
definitely displaced them.
your team's playing with you, they're dead.
But you can do this weird fucking combo where like you shoot and melee at the same time. It doesn't play the melee animation, but you just kill them instantly.
Yeah, that's a default. Also, you need to before you hook people, you throw down your new
No,
little
I don't.
mine thing.
Sometimes I don't even throw them in the trap. If they're 225 health, I can kill them like instantly by shotgun them in the face and melee
No,
at the same
you
time.
don't have to throw it down, but I've got into the practice of doing it because if you don't
That's
kill
one
them,
thing I like. Want
then they
225
spawn.
health. Fuck these mobile pricks. I'm just gonna hook them and kill them.
You don't know true pleasure in life, even if you've had sex or anything. You don't know true pleasure in life until you've landed a hook on a tracer who's
Oh
been
yeah,
pestering you.
sometimes I did that shit and I just
And you
killed them
finally catch this
instantly.
bitch, and you look her in the face, and she's fucking dead.
I
She
do
gets
be
sent.
teabagging them. I do be teabagging them and shit and spray painting their body and shit.
You do what you gotta do, man. This guy's best friend's a Junkrat for a reason. He's a fucking cunt, bro. He's a good lad.
Yeah, Hug's one of my favourites. But you shit. I can still say you shit. Sigma, I've not got anything to say about because when have you ever complained about a fucking Sigma? He's made for 5v5. He's got a few counters. He's not the best. Like, I don't know what you can say about the cunt. I've never
Tell
been
you what,
pissed at him.
bro. I've got a few things to say about him. You're right. He was made for 5v5, but unfortunately, he was released during 6v6. So this guy is single-handedly probably the
Carrying
reason
the lobby.
why the second tank got removed. He's the reason. They added this guy when famously the only other shield in the game was Arisa and Ryan, right? And Winston, but we don't really count Winston's bubble because he's diving. So you would
Yeah.
then every game after that in ranked for the longest time it would be Ryan Sigma, Sigma Ryan, or Sigma Arisa. Every time you'd have to pick double shield. This is the age of pirate ship. This is the age of double shield. It's called very original name, and because of that, and I feel like wholly because of that, they had to remove one of the tank slots from the game. It's either that or Sigma loses his shield. This guy's wholly designed for double shield. Picture this, Jord, right? So imagine if Arisa had Diva's right click, which she basically did, right? She does still.
Yeah. Put a shield down in front of her, didn't she?
Well, she didn't have it then, but basically she'd throw down her shield, and then Sigma could right click behind it. And then when her shield runs out, when her shield gets destroyed, he'd throw his shield up. By the time his shield dies, Arisa throws her shield down. And it just rinse and repeats. You can't break both of them. You'd have to run a bastion. You'd have to run a shield breaking comp. And at that point, you're spending so much resources on destroying their shields that they've just killed your team.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how the normal game goes.
Yeah. It wasn't fun to play against. It wasn't fun to play. So Sigma, he's the reason why the second tank got removed, I think. But in terms of design, he's well designed.
Like,
He's
yeah,
interesting.
I wouldn't say he's like proper annoying or like I've literally never played a game where I'm like, oh my god, this Sigma's so fucking annoying. That's never came out of my mouth ever.
But Sigma's annoying to play against, but not annoying in the
Like
sense of a
he's
tank.
got a few counters. He can be fucked around by a few tanks. Like Doomfist can literally like just bum him like 24/7. I don't think he's annoying at all. I'll put him in fair.
He's one of the few tanks that still have a stun.
Yeah, that
I
stun's
believe,
quite annoying, but like I'll say
but it's
Hinder's
hard to
more
land.
annoying.
It's hard to land. It's easy to see coming. It's easy to dodge. So,
Yeah, what I mean, Hinder's way more annoying. That shit cuts it instant. Fuck you. You're getting fucking domed. Now on to Winston.
oh, Winston.
Winston. Nothing to say about Winston, bro. I like Winston. What can you say about Winston? If you can't kill a Winston, you're shit. Every time I'm on Reaper, he's dead. Like, he's got counters. If you
I've
can't
got,
kill a
I've got,
can't kill a
I've got
Winston,
a
you are
lot to
just
say
bad at
on
the
that.
game, bro.
I think one of the things that separates low ranks from high ranks is the ability to kill Winston. That is to
Bro,
say, like
I
you've
don't
just said there,
know.
a lot of low ranks and mid ranks seem to think that they have a Winston, I'll go Reaper, and that's it. But a good Winston can play around the Reaper really well, and it becomes like a little mini game, a mind game between the two, right? He can shield weave. Winston has some of the best peel in the game. He can get in and get out in 6 seconds or less. He could use his ult in a variety of ways. He can use that to get out if he wants to, even. He can use it to juggle people. A good Winston juggling you. I don't think it'll happen to you very often.
No,
But
not
if a good
much.
Winston's juggling you, it's
It's
worse
annoying,
than
like when it
Hinder.
happens,
It's worse than stun. It's worse than you can't do
because you're
anything.
getting put in a
You get
corner. Unless you're
he
Kiriko, you
doesn't
can't
even
really escape from it all.
he doesn't even have to put you in a corner. He can just juggle you. He can just walk around with you and carry you. And basically kill you. But Winston's the hallmark of the dive composition. He's my favourite tank to play, probably barring Rhine. Um, he's very simple in his layout and his design, but he's really fun. He's really good.
That's what I
And on
mean.
some
I
maps,
could never put him in gate or shit. I'd always put Winston in fair,
on
like
some
Sigma.
maps he would carry. If anyone's watching and you guys remember Horizon Lunar Colony, an attack Winston was you basically needed to play a dive on point A to get anywhere. You couldn't play around into that on point A. It's the worst point to ever attack. It's why the map got removed.
Makes
So fun,
sense.
so good.
Onto the ball. Now, we have a lot of conversations about ball when we play
Yeah, we talk
casuals,
about ball a
because he's
lot. We talk
shit.
about ball a lot. I
He can't
think a
do
lot of
anything in a 5v5 environment. He's just a nuisance. And if you haven't got a front line, you're fucked. Just die.
I think a lot of what we said about Doomfist can be applied to ball.
Pretty
A good
much. He's a
a good
feeding
ball
tank.
player, a good ball player can engage and disengage and peel probably better than any other tank. But the problem is the duration in the middle of that. He's not doing too much unless he's one-shotting supports or whatever. At which point your team's suffering; they don't have a support. He's designed for two tank meta, but there's only one tank. So yeah, if I load into a game on support and I see my tank lock on ball, I know it's going to be a hard game. It's not going to be fun. He's a casualty of the removal of the second tank.
I'll definitely put him in
Unfortunately,
shit tier.
I
He
think
just
he's got
can't do much.
one of the more fun like.
In open queue, he's class.
Um,
In
he's fun
solo
to
tank, he's
play.
shit.
He's just not that good.
If he
They
had
can,
two
they
tanks,
can
it'd be
buff him all
great.
they want. They can buff him all they want. He
One of
needs
the
a reason.
last of the tanks, Zarya. I don't have
Zarya.
anything against the car really. Like I hated it when I first played the game, but just don't shoot her bubbles and she kills for free.
Zarya teaches bronze players how to not be bronze anymore.
Just don't
It
shoot her.
teaches you. It teaches you that sometimes, even if someone's low health, you need to switch target, man.
Oh,
And it
if they're low
teaches.
health, I'll definitely shed that bubble and kill her.
No, but you get me, right? It
Yeah,
teaches
yeah,
you
like
that.
half health.
It teaches you that unless you want to feed this bitch, you need to switch target, or you need to if you're going to feed her, if you're going to burst through her bubbles, like you've said, you don't need to worry about just killing the person who's bubbled. You then need to worry about a charged Zarya beaming the shit out of your team.
Yeah, because it fucking
Um,
hurts.
and it hurts. She probably does some of the most damage output of any tanks.
I don't
Not to
actually know how much damage
mention,
she does, but it feels she kills you like no time she's 100 charge. She literally then melts you like butter, like
I'll
symmetrical.
tell you actually, because it's definitely changed since Overwatch 1. So
Definitely
her
higher.
particle cannon,
Part of
her
is quite
left
high
click,
now.
her left click at 0 charge does 95 damage a second. Pretty shit. And at 100% energy, she's doing 190 a second.
It's quite good.
Which, for reference, basically means if you're playing, I don't know, a Winston, she can kill you in about 4 seconds. Less than that.
That puts
3 or 4
Zarya in
seconds.
fair because she literally like. I don't think she's annoying.
Not to mention, she's got one of the best ults in the game.
Yeah.
They can nerf grab all they want. It's so good. It's so good. And there's nothing better than landing a 5-man grab or back when a 6-man grab.
Well, that's it for the tanks, I guess.
That's it for the tanks.
Cross this and bitch out. So Ash, pretty much the better Cass. Why the fuck would you pick Cass when you can pick Ash? She got better anti-dive and everything else. Why the fuck would you ever pick Cass?
You know what? I agree. Ash generally, she's got a lot more poke damage and stuff. Back in Overwatch 1, Cass was a lot more viable than he is now. Or McCree. I'm going to call him McCree, mate. Fuck him.
Yeah, it's got McCree.
Because he didn't have damage fall off, or at least if he did, it wasn't as prominent as it is now. If, as an example, if they had a fire, you'd pick McCree. Whereas now you need to bring the Ash, because she carries the utility. She doesn't have the
Or
damage
Soldier.
fall off. Yeah, it's sad, but we'll talk about that when we get to him. But Ash is good, man. Not to mention she's got a really interesting ult. You can store point with it, do all sorts of shit with it. She's probably one of the better targets to damage boost out there. I think she's all right.
Bastion, I would put in shit. Like, literally gay or shit. I hate him. Every time I see Bastion, I'm like, yeah, my time was playing a tank has come to an end because this cunt's going to make my shield non existent all the game. I'm like, cheers, Bastion. That's your only fucking purpose. He just goes to minigun. That's his only purpose. His
Yeah.
main gun is cack. His grenades can
Outside
get a
his
cheeky
minigun,
kill. That's it.
outside of his minigun, he's got nothing going for him really. His
I
whole
hate
purpose
him.
is to destroy tanks. He's a lot better, more fun to play than he was in
He's the
Overwatch
one of
1.
the only ones like none of that Overwatch classic shit. I like Bastion more in it. He's way more useful. Even though like, he goes stationary in his turret, his ult's way more fun. His main gun's way faster, so you can actually do something with it. He's so shit in Overwatch 2 as a
He was
joke.
a lot more fun to play in Overwatch 1, but he was a lot more brain dead to play. Let me just fix what I said there. I preferred his Overwatch 1 ult to his Overwatch 2 ult. I think it was a lot more impactful. I think it was a lot more fun to use. It was a lot more cool as well. You turn into a fucking tank. Whereas now he only exists to destroy shields, and that's about it. He can probably shred a tank from full health as well, but it's just you just line of sight him, and he moves really slow during it. He's
But
got no
mate, he's
real
such a
purpose.
useless cunt.
And
Like,
also a little fact as well. One of the things that balanced him back then was that out of every DPS in the game, and this still holds true, out of every DPS in the game, he's got the biggest hitbox. That still holds true, but now he's just got a big hitbox and he's got nothing to show for it.
every
He's like a
time he
war
uses
card.
minigun, I don't peek it. As soon as it ends, I kill him. He has no purpose.
That's it. That's Bastion.
Now let's go to Cass. Fucking useless prick. Hinder 0.7 seconds. Are you having a joke? Bro. Like, I know, like, it's a bullshit ability to begin
He
with.
used to be stunned. He used to be stunned.
Yeah, it used to be a stun and shit like that, but 0.7 seconds now in Overwatch 2 is fuck all. It is a useless ability. No one likes it. No one actually likes it being used. So why the fuck is it an ability? Roll denies Pulse Bomb, which is a skill shot ult, which is hard to land sometimes, to be fair. I've played Tracer. Like, I'm not the best Tracer, but it's fucking hard to land. And it can just like, yeah, I've rolled, fuck off. Both his abilities are bullshit. I don't see his purpose.
On the original lineup, he was anti-dive, and he was a really good ranged alternative to say Widow, to Hanzo, that sort of thing. He was more mobile than Widow, and a lot more consistent than Hanzo. He was also anti-dive. Now the only purpose he fills now is anti-dive still, kind of. Say a Winston jump shot, you can hinder him, you can execute him.
Yeah, but it's just so
Um,
much of a niche. Like
but
0.7 seconds.
you know
Think
what,
about
George?
it.
Honestly, I think he would be one of the better heroes in the game still to this day if they'd never added damage fall off to him.
Every
That
time I
killed him.
think of going Cass, I go, nah, I'm going Ash. Every single fucking time.
His
So
damage fall off needs looking at.
he needs
It
to
needs
have
looking at.
something better. Replace both his abilities because they're both absolute bullshit. No one wants to be hindered.
I think the flashbang or the hinder is
Bullshit.
it's
Like,
it's bullshit, but it's essential for the role he's trying to fill, right? It could be adjusted.
I would much
I think
prefer
his
if you had
role
funner abilities than hinder and roll. They
I
are
think
just
his
so
role is
boring.
it's 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 what his character's about, right? He's a
Yeah, I know
cowboy.
his character's about his anti-dive shit like that, but
Fair, no, I'm talking
fucking
about like how he's
hell.
played, but like it's not very fun to
But
use
when does a
either. And
cowboy have a
it
flashbang?
plays his role. Well, no, it's not meant to be a flashbang. It's meant to be like he's throwing dirt in your face, up in your
Yeah,
face,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
At
Which
which
is
point it
like,
doesn't make sense as a hinder. It makes more sense to say a blind or something. Say it reduce your damage done, or you know what I mean, something like that. That'd be cool.
but like every time I've played Modern Casket, zero point 0.7 seconds, right?
McCree.
Yeah, yeah, Modern Recruit. Every time, 0.7 seconds is a fraction of time. A fraction. You might get a kill off it. You might not. It's very, very like shit. Just replace both of his abilities because they're both cack.
He needs
I
another
like, I like
rework. He needs
revolver
that,
characters. I love revolver characters like accuracy and shit like that, hitting headshots, whatever. But he's just shit. He doesn't
I like the
reward
idea of
anything.
his fan the hammer. I think it's cool, but
That's what I
in
mean.
general, it's difficult to balance. But his
He's just
damage fall off
shit.
needs his damage fall off needs, and his
His
ult as well.
fall
His
off is
damage fall off and his
so
ult.
bad. It's a joke.
If they wanted to fix him without reworking him now, they'd have to fix his damage fall off and they'd have to fix his ult.
Yeah,
His ult's
pretty much.
terrible.
His ult's terrible.
Come
It's
on, I mean,
phenomenal.
anyone watching, right? I get like this whole thing we're doing here isn't 100% accurate, but one of the things everyone can agree with, even the pro players, right, is his ult is so bad it's used as a secondary load,
Yeah,
and it's
I've actually seen
bro,
that multiple times where
bro.
if the cast McCree is in trouble, you literally use ult to get a reload. That's it.
He will fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer, ult, fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer, or he'll just
I
use it as
just
his
don't
backup.
like this cunt. I used to like him
No,
when I played the game. Fuck it out. Both his abilities are pointless. Pointless and bullshit. On to Echo.
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 I'm curious what
Fly.
you think of Echo.
I always hate flying characters anyway, because I just have to pick soldier. Pretty much. Pick soldier, kill them. Or pick a hit scan, kill them. But Echoes with so much bullshit abilities. Hits every bomb, instant dead. Below half health, instant dead. Like, cloning another person's ult,
I think
including
that's
the
what
tanks,
amazing.
is crazy. That is literally Tide Turner and a half. Because you can literally sit there and be a fucking tank, a second tank, and just rape them. There's no, like, counterplay to it, really. You just clone the tank and go, yeah, I'm fucking yous.
So the thing about her role is as soon as she switches to someone, regardless of who it is, but especially if it's a tank, she becomes the top priority of the team, right? As an
Yeah.
example, Echo switches to your Reinhardt, everyone needs to kill her right now. Otherwise, she is gonna get 3 Earth Shatters, and the fight's over. It is, in my opinion, the most impactful ult in the game, but it's
That's what I
also
mean.
the easiest to counter
It's
because
easy to counter, but if he clones someone like, if she clones something like Ryan, it's kind of hard to kill them.
oh
Or
yeah,
any other tank of like self-sustain, like when they clone Hog, that is actually AIDS.
you
Like
need
they just like
respond
hit the vape and shit
quickly.
like that.
And when I say respond, I don't mean like everyone switch target. I mean you would have to ult to get them out of their ult. You would have to have
Yeah,
split for it,
literally.
or you would have to ult say a Lucio
Or
ult,
just
or
spray them in the face with some high impact gun.
like the Echo needs to be taken out of that ASAP. But the reason it's one of the better ults in the game, design wise, is it is the most impactful ult bar none, but it has wind up time. That is to say, if Echo becomes the Reinhardt, it's going to be a good 10 seconds before that Reinhardt then Earth shatters. So your team
Yeah.
has time at
Well,
least
I
to react
don't
to that.
know. Echo builds it up fast as fuck. It is actually crazy how fast she builds it up when she actually
It's
clones.
fast, but it's
Like,
look at it
I
this
play
way.
Rhine hammer heavy. I only swing hammer on Rhine. So if I'm playing Heko and I clone Rhine, I am getting my ult in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, but think about it this way, right? While you're doing that and you haven't got your little echo shield up, the enemy team rinses you. Then you're not getting any earth shatters.
Yeah, but I can get an air fit out in like 2 seconds because Echo's ult is fast. When she clones, her ult goes up fast as fuck. Like, I've played Echo a few times. Her ult goes up really fucking fast. So if I get Rhine, I'm going to swing at the enemy team with my fucking 500 health or whatever and rape them. Like,
It's more or less it
there's
just
2
changes
tanks
priority around.
versus 1 tank. Yeah, he's getting bummed. Like,
I think one of
Sorry
the
to interrupt,
problems
boys.
with it is exactly
Sorry,
what you
sorry
just
to
said there.
interrupt.
Who the
Uh,
fuck are you?
uh,
Who's this?
actually, Echo has 300 health max while she
actually,
ults.
for Echo has 300 health maximum, so like, you can't fucking do that.
Right, yeah. So as that voice in the back of our heads just pointed out there. By the way, we don't know who that is. I guess we have to
For
kick them
real,
from this
for real.
Discord. I guess they just slid it. Yeah, she only gets a certain amount of health no matter who she clones. The problem is she's
Which is
always going to
holding
clone a tank
shield.
anyway,
It
because
is.
generally speaking, tanks do more damage than DPS. I hate to say it, it's
Yeah,
just
and that can hold shield, which you can do when she clones, which is fucked.
they're also generally more tankier, not just health wise and armor wise, but obviously Ryan has his shield, Hog has his right click that gives it her tons of ult charge as well. Zarya has her bubbles, so generally she's always going to clone a tank, which I think is a design problem with the ult, but it's to be expected.
Fair enough. On the Genji, I can't say anything about him because like you have to be good at the game mechanically to be good at him nowadays because he's shit. Like I will complain about him when I get killed by him because he's up my asshole and dashing into me. But like
Genji is an
he
example
is
of a hero
extremely
designed
hard
right.
to use.
He's got one of the highest skill flaws in the game. When I say skill flaw, I think skill ceiling, but instead of like how good you can get, it's how good you need to be.
Yeah,
It's to say, if you don't know how to play him and you play him, you'd be better off playing anyone else. You need to know the tech. You need to know
I also don't
all
think
sorts
we
of
can say much about him because everybody knows like the running joke is Genji is like nerf Genji. That's a running joke in Overwatch 2.
the running
He's
joke
that
is
shit.
Genji needs healing because this guy's always in Bangladesh flanking the enemy team.
Yeah, but he's also taking resources from them just from being in the backline. I thought most people don't fucking realize about the game.
He's taking the health packs. He's
He's taking the health packs, taking resources, and he's fucking sleeps, whatever. He can deflect it and
As
shit like
someone
that.
who used to play Masters level support, right? Obviously, a lot of that was playing Goat support. So think Brig, think Lucio.
Lucio.
At that point, it wasn't a big deal because you wouldn't see him, right? A Genji against Goat's comp, forget about it. But before and after Goat's meta, when I would be playing someone like, say, Mercy, or I'd be playing Lucio, or I'd be playing even Brig, I'd be playing that was about it. Zen. I tell you what, when I'd be playing Zen, my biggest nightmare would be a Genji. And if the enemy team had a Genji, and my team just couldn't peel or help me, or I couldn't position myself right, I'd have to get off Zen instantly. Like, this guy can kill a Zen in about a fourth of a second, probably.
Yeah,
Stupid. One right click and a dash and a melee, he's dead. He's dead. Most heroes
yeah.
in the roster are dead. Genji's so good. So good. But
But
he's one of them
a
heroes
lot of
where
people
in a
do not
low
know how to
rank,
use him.
yeah, in a low rank, Jord, you don't need to worry about him, mate.
Every
You
time I've
don't
got a
need to worry
Genji on my
about him.
team, they are fucking dead.
You're a weeaboo who wants to be good.
Idiot. Let's go on to Hanzo. I don't really know
Give
what to
us
say
your
about him
answer.
apart from I hate one shots. Let's put him in shit.
I'll say this now, and I'll sort of repeat it when we get to Widowmaker at the end. One shots don't belong in a game like this.
It'd be
They
better
don't.
if it was
I
like
don't.
Paladins where it's like a 2-shot. Where you've actually got time to react and get behind cover before you
If
just get literally killed by bullshit.
If anyone for some reason's heard of the DJ George G channel, but they haven't looked into Marvel Rivals, look at what's his name, Hawkeye. That's
Yeah,
what Hanzo
Hawkeye
should be.
looks way more respectable than Hanzo.
That's what
Handle just
Hanzo.
gets kills off bullshit.
Theoretically, he could probably one shot, but he's gonna have to build it up. He's gonna have to look at you. He's gonna have to get his.
From my
focus up.
experience, he gets more like value from spamming the choke where all the enemy is playing death ball and kills them at random headshots. He's very, very dumb cunt.
His headshots aren't even earned like you could argue Widowmakers are. 90% of the time, it's just from spamming a pixel or a
Spamming
choke.
a pixel and choke.
And you turn the corner at the wrong time and you're dead.
Apart from Jake, real hands up. Shout out
My
Jake.
mate Jake. Shout out to my mate Jake.
He's the
a
only
lad.
good hands I've seen. Jake. He's on console.
You gotta bear in mind he's on the sticks
He's
as well.
on the sticks, bro. What the fuck? Junkrat, you know what I'm going to say about this cunt for seeing him like 10 million times all the time. Spam, 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 spam. I'm a cunt. My projectiles are the size of fucking planet Earth.
He's probably been buffed recently since
Yeah,
I
his
started.
projectiles are fucking massive.
Yeah,
like
the size on the projectiles is stupid. He is the king of spamming the choke point.
He's an absolute dickhead. I literally don't want to say anything more about him. He's an absolute dickhead.
Mention, when we're talking about one-shot heroes, pretty much everything I've said about Hanzo can go into Junkrat.
He doesn't need to aim. He hits you with one bomb and a mine, and you're fucking killed.
One bomb, melee, mine, you're probably dead.
As fuck.
And he can do that. He can do that no matter where you are or what you're doing. Like,
and if you accidentally step in a trap, you're dead as fuck. Because strafing is a massive part of the game. I just want to
bring something up real quick. I'll have to find the source for this, but I remember it being definitive. They were reworking his trap to where like you could go in it and then you could break it by like going to walk out of it. You could snap it, right? And while you're in it, it would only slow you. Yeah, you could move around a bit, and if you move too far, it would damage you and snap. To my knowledge, right? I might be wrong. I don't know whatever happened to that rework. I don't know why it didn't go through. That would have been amazing.
That would
have been perfect.
This cunt hits you with a mine. I'm literally hitting the skybox, and that's not a joke. I am hitting the edge of the map from his mines.
People comment on this video if they're still watching will comment, "Oh, it's a skill issue. Don't go into his trap."
Skill issue, bro. Just don't go anywhere.
This guy just throws it into the middle of the team fight. And obviously, the last thing you're doing in the middle of a team fight is looking at the fucking floor for like these little teeth that are poking out. So it's just random who goes in it. Fuck you, basically. No matter who you are.
Displacement is one of the most annoying fucking things in the game. And when you got this cunt, got two mines, you can spam both of them at a tank. The tank is hitting the skybox. He's lost most control. He's actually using the gun. It's fucked, bro. Junkrat needs to be removed. He's a cunt.
Doesn't need to be removed, but projectile size needs to be fucking toned down. The range in which they could go needs to be toned down.
Mine knockback is annoying as fuck.
His knockback needs looking at. I think the only part about him that I like is his ult. When you hear a Junkrat use his ult, you're scared. Everyone gets scared. Everyone gets a bit scared. You can counter it by killing it, but you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know what angle it's going to take. And let's be real. As a support player, you know where it's going. It's coming for you, man. It's coming for you. And it's as when I played Brig a lot, right? Outside of the Goats meta, when I would see Junkrat when I was on Brig, there was like a little mini game going on. Shout out to the Junkrats that knew. But the tire would come for me, and it would spin around me while I had my shield up, try to either get behind my shield or drop my shield. And the good Junkrat players wouldn't just blow it up straight away. They'd try and jump over your shield, or you'd have to spin around, and they'd still kill you. If you're a support player, this was the bane of your fucking existence, man. He needs a rework. He needs changing a lot.
Ever since I played Overwatch 2, because I'm a Overwatch 2 player, Junkrat's just been an absolute cunt to my existence. Bro just spams, puts his traps in the most awkward places possible. If you're in a trap, you are instant dead. No counterplay. Very, very gay. May. On to May. I like May, but I'm a bit biased, but like she's a bit of a bitch. Like she literally just walls off tank and kills them. If you can wall off tank consistently, you've won the game. And
that's
fucked.
It's the wall. That's it.
I like hitting icicles in the face and shit, but like walling off tank, it just feels bad, man. You literally wall off a Rhine and he's fucking dead.
We know now that the new tank, Hazard, he brings a wall as well, right? May's never been in the meta for the just because of the wall. But if there was a spot to bring her, she's always good. If she lands a wall and segregates your team in the middle of a fight, your tank especially, they're dead. There's no excuse to it. They're dead. The fight it goes from a 5v5 to a 5v1 just because you've walled off their team, their tank's dead. May's really good, but in Overwatch 1,
feels like shit to play against.
She was a menace. In Overwatch 1, she was a menace. Before the rework, her left click used to freeze you after about a second and a half of being on you. Now, I'm glad, Jord, that you didn't have to play against that because it was the most AIDS thing ever. No matter what hero you were, if she charged that onto you for a second and a half, you got stunned 100% of the time. And she could chain it, so she could stun you, and then as you come out of it, she'd do it on you again for another second, you stunned again. It was AIDS. It was fucking awful. I'm glad they removed that. But since removing that, she's lost her place. She's only there for the wall now.
I mean, you just wall a tank, that's her only purpose, really.
She's just a wall. She's just a wall bot.
Farah.
Jesus Christ.
If they've got a hit scan, you lose. There's not much I can think about about Farah apart from that. If there's no hit scan, you will literally rape the lobby, 120 damage a rocket, direct. Jump on Mercy, kill her. You kill every cut you want. As soon as they bring it one hit scan, you're dead. So I want to put her in shit.
You know what, John? I'm not even going to fucking argue with you. I think me and you wholly agree on it. I don't like her design.
I like flying characters when you're playing as them and shit like that, but like hit scan and just make it unusable. If they've got a good ass, she's dead.
Hard countered by hit scan. I mean, now obviously you're a counter. She can play lines of sight around them, but at that point, just switch and go somewhere else.
Reaper. I'll put this guy in fair because if you literally let a Reaper get breathing distance away from you and shotgunning you in the head, you are shit at the game and deserve to die. I've learned Reaper recently literally has no counters. Like, you can't really name a counter for Reaper. You can hack him, you can hinder him, he doesn't give a fuck. 0.7 seconds on hinder. Yeah, I'm gonna fade. Fucking hack. Yeah, I'm gonna fade. I'm gonna teleport. He doesn't give a fuck. Reaper is like one of the best DPS from my experience. Does not give a fuck.
Reaper's a classic example of a tank buster.
You can kill tanks. You can literally walk on squishies and kill them. If Anna tries to sleep him, he's like, nah, I'm gonna fade and ignore it and shotgun her in the face.
I think he's one of the best designed heroes in the game. He's very simple to play, he's very easy to play, he's very effective.
And if you get killed by him, it's your fault, because you let a Reaper, who's loud as fuck, walk up to you and shotgun you.
You die with a Reaper, you're out of position.
If I mean, you're out of position, you're fucking stupid.
Generally, he plays up the front line, or he can go on the flank. There's a lot of ways you can play Reaper.
I like Reaper.
No, I will say this: I can't really comment on him from a competitive perspective because
I've played him in like plat competitive, and from what I understand, he does not have any counters. Because even if you use
the way it works in the high reloads, for the most part, by the way, this isn't definitive, or the way it did work, I should say, is everyone was a slave to the meta. Let's be real.
Yeah. I thought the meta's like now, like everyone just plays hard meta every 2 days in.
I'm fortunate and unfortunate to say that when I used to play ranked in my masters lobbies, right, I've never seen Reaper. Never.
I think Reaper is one of the easiest and effective DPSs to use. Because no matter what you're using him, he's going to fade, and he's going to teleport, and he's going to shotgun you in the face. So I don't see...
still needs a rework. I think his teleport is still a shit ability.
His teleport is still shit, but it's got me out of a few jams that literally would not happen on any other character. Apart from, like, Kiriko.
If someone lets you teleport out, they're bad at the game.
I've teleported out a few times in plat comp games and been fine. Then I go up to the back line and shotgun them. Very good operator. I like this hero. Sojourn. This is my main, like, if I play ranked, if I want like an automatic weapon, I'll go Sojourn. I don't know how to feel about her. She's like, if you hit constant headshots, she's good. If you hit body shots, she's shit.
I think in terms of hero design, she's probably one of the better heroes out there. She was obviously
I don't like a slide. I think a slide's kind of bullshit. Very anti-dive, like, oh yeah, I'm fucking off. I'm literally fucking off at the map.
Came out after I stopped playing. Obviously, when Overwatch 2 went live, I played very briefly, but I didn't really experience her that much. I didn't play against her. I will say this: I like her design a lot. The slide, I think, is a bit slidey. Obviously, it's a slide. It's meant to be. It's a bit,
If it reduce the slide, I think she'd be fair. Like you have to really have to hit constant
I
headshots
don't
from that
think
cow.
it's bullshit. I think the thing about Sojourn that's good is if you land kills with her, it's 100% you're doing it.
That's what I mean. If I play ranked and I want an automatic gun, I will play Soldier on and try and land headshots. That's the only way you get kills with her. So she's
That's
not
it,
like
yeah.
that bad. Like I'll put her in fair. Soldier, I'm gonna put in fair, bro. He's the
Soldier's
only
just
guy with
Soldier.
recoil. You don't need to
Soldier's
talk. You don't
literally
really need to
just
talk about much about him. I use Soldier quite a lot.
He's
He's
a
got
good
only
base.
come
Like,
with
I feel like
recoil, good anti-air. He's fine.
he should always be middle of the pack. I've never liked it historically when he's meta, but I like it when he's an entry level
I
hero.
will
You get into the
say
game, you go in. He's
I
easy to
like
play.
him better in Overwatch Classic where he has no spread and you just shoot. I don't like when every other gun in the game has no recoil and Soldier has recoil. It makes no sense and it puts me off. Like if I switch from like May or Bastion to like Soldier, it is hard because he's got recoil and no one else does. What's the fucking point? He's good anti-air and shit like that, but what the fuck is the point in making every other gun have no recoil and him having it? I prefer if Cass had it and he had more range.
I'll be honest, the only thing I don't like about Soldier generally is his ult. I feel like there was a debacle back at Overwatch
It's a
1
combo ult,
where,
really.
No, listen. There was a debacle back at Overwatch 1 where people who were pro Soldier players, that sounds weird to say.
I'm kind of like that, I'm not gonna lie.
They would not use his ult. You'd get his ult and you would hold on it the whole game because it stopped you from getting headshots. I don't know if it still does.
No, it doesn't. You can headshot people with it.
Yeah, it used to stop you from getting headshots, and because of that, it literally reduced your damage output if you use it. They would literally never press it ever.
Not gonna like it.
You might press it like as a meme as you respawn, but like you wouldn't use it seriously.
When I was using it in Classic, I actually killed so many people with it because if you just running behind them and like tactical visor activated,
This is my
I
point.
just killed them all.
When I'm talking about Soldier Pro players, I'm talking about people who have like 90% hit accuracy. They don't need the aimbot Pro. They're fine without it. But
Yeah,
the
but
difference is
that's what I mean.
without it, they're landing headshots.
I like old Soldier because there's no recoil. It's random spread, so I don't have to
Yep.
constantly pull my mouse fucking down off my mat. I've got a massive mat, but if I'm constantly spraying at a tank or like anyone, I have to pull my mouse down.
Well, that's a confession, right? And I'll say this now because it's years later, and I won't mention names. Someone who I used to scrim with, he was on my team. He was as pro soldier as you could get. He called himself a pro soldier. This is in the days of random spread, as you called it. He oh no, it was after random spread. Yeah, it was after random spread, and he had a macro, not a macro. I don't know what it was built into his mouse, and it would automatically pull it down perfectly.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
This guy literally just point and clicked at heads, and
When I'm drunk, kid, I
wouldn't
play
have put
Soldier
it
like that, but like I would never use a macro or anything like that. If I play Soldier right now, I'll be fucking goated. I would kill every single air cunt in the game. I'll be fine. Drunk aim is the best aim, but like Soldier is very much average. He's not good. He's not bad. He's just fair, and I'll put him in fair. Sombra, you know what? I'm gonna put this fucking cow.
Don't care.
Very gay, very gay. I don't want to discuss her. I don't want to put anything about her. Anyone that played Overwatch knows that Sombra's a cunt. She literally exists to be a cunt.
I was going to say something real quick. My ex, she was obsessed with Sombra. It's the only hero she'd ever play. She used to go on about how she's the best Sombra player ever. I know you're not watching this, but you were shit.
Like every Sombra player.
He's just Sombra is objectively OP as fuck, and I guess you were just abusing it. And,
Yeah, you know when Sombra can go invisible like 100% of the time. Yeah, it's kind of OP that you don't have to think about your position and anything like that ever.
It's the fact that this lass in particular, and a lot of Sombra players do this, by the way. They base their entire personality around Sombra.
Why? What a Mexican bitch, brother.
I mean, what nationality do you think she was?
I'm putting Sombra in like gay as fuck easily.
Vámonos.
What would Symmetra be? Like, I played Symmetra recently, I'm like, this bitch is OP. Like, why is she so broke? Why did they buff her?
Not OP, mate.
We played her recently. She buffed the
The way-
damage, you know.
Yeah, but like she needs to ramp that damage up.
Yeah, no, she needs to ramp it up, but when like the tank is not paying attention to you and she's shooting the other tank, you rape them.
Generally speaking, she could be OP if people played around to teleport her more.
And as well, yeah, if you teleport constantly, like I started doing that shit where you spam teleport.
do some mad
It's
shit with
so
teleport.
AIDS, bro.
The reason I like her is because the only time I used to ever see her in scrims or in competitive is when my team or the enemy team decided to meme around. Like, oh, we've already won, or we're having a fun game. Let's do some sim strats, right? So think Lijiang Tower, you teleport onto point from the upstairs window. Think you would diva bomb through a sim portal out of spawn or through whatever into point. You would ult through this portal out of some crazy angles and you get some kills.
That's
I don't know
cool
about
and
them
that,
now.
but like nowadays, like a wall,
My opinion is this,
bro.
right? I think she got, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 reworks, but she needs another one.
She got a few. I swear, Symmetra's got like the most reworks out of any character in the game.
I fucking hate her. What are they called? Her little turrets. The shit they need changing.
Yeah, they're fucking stupid, man.
They're
They'll
stupid. They're made of paper, but they're annoying.
You put her in shit because that's like kind of in the middle of the ground here.
I'll be honest.
I never really see her
I'm looking at
used.
your gauge, and I just don't know the difference between gay and shit.
Right, Gay is absolutely bullshit. Can kill anything it wants pretty much, or does whatever it wants. Shit can be fun, but they're just shit. And
Oh,
fair
fair
is fair.
Fair
Like
enough.
I don't have a problem with Junker Queen or Match or Reinhardt or anything like that. I've never complained about that. Like Winston, Sigma. When have you ever went, bro, Sigma's up my asshole, help me? I've never heard that in my life. So like I put Symmetra in like middle ground, which is shit. Gay is like the bottom tier, like, oh, I play as hero, I kill everybody, like Mauga, bullshit, etc. You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel you now. I feel you.
Like Torbjorn, I literally never play this cunt, so you're gonna have to give me literally your full point on this cunt. I never play him.
So, fun story, right? Torbjorn, whenever I would play DPS back in the day in rank, I exclusively played Torbjorn or Reaper, right? Because both of them have like a little shotgun to them. Torbjorn, fun fact, is right click's almost as good as Reaper's left click.
I'll put him in
But
fair for now.
Torbjorn's received a lot of reworks. You used to have armor packs. That was actually a really fun thing.
That was funny in classic.
Level your
Get shit
turret up
into
with
armor.
crap. That was fun. But now he has Overdrive, which was his old ult. But Overdrive makes him. This is controversial. I think he's one of the better heroes in the game, but he's slept on. Overdrive, he can melt a tank
Honestly,
faster than a
I
Bastion
can
if he wants.
see that, but like, you know when you're playing a character and you can't get used to projectile. Like it took me fucking ages to get used to
His
maze.
projectile's like Maze. It's like Maze. But
Yeah,
a
it
bit
is
curved.
like maze, but it's actually better when it's in overdrive. Because when it's in overdrive, fucking hell,
You can
if
hold
he
down the choke
headshot
point.
somebody, holy
Yeah.
shit, they are dead. Like they are
You can
literally dead as
You
fuck.
can literally line that projectile up to head level on a pixel.
Dead
Say,
as fuck.
a good example is Hollywood Point A. You can sit way back where the elevator is at the bottom of it, and there's a little pixel you can get around the corner to the van on the other side of the choke point. If you hold that and you just hold left click, I've went AFK upwards of 30 seconds before. Looked back at my monitor and I've had 3 kills. Because people peek that little pixel. Obviously, they're contesting my tank, and I'm just holding head level and shooting.
But every time, I think I'm the massive cunt where like I'm top damage. I'm just gonna walk in on Torbjorn and kill him. He goes in the overload, headshots me like 2 or 3 times, and I'm
really
dead
good
as
at
fuck.
anti-die for that reason. He shuts his turret down, and if you
If I
dive
mean,
him
he
in
shuts his turret down,
you can
sits
respond
behind
to
it a bit as well, goes in the overload, shoots you in the face.
I would like to see his ult reworked again. I think it's just too
Yeah,
slow.
I don't think it's all like strong
It's
or
just too
good.
slow to put it down, and even if they go into it, it's not that good.
Like, the only time I've used it is when I'm putting it directly on top of people.
It's
not
meant
actually
to,
why I'm trying to zone. I'm just literally putting it on
meant
top
to
of
do more
people.
damage to armor than it is to normal stuff. But unless I
But
told you that, you wouldn't know.
yeah, I mean, you don't really think about that shit
You don't
when
feel it.
like
You
you've
don't
got
feel it.
5 people in front of you trying to kill you. You're just trying to set them on fire.
Yep.
Tracer, I'll put her in first straight away. I've never had a problem with Tracer. Never complained about her. She leads very good resource management.
Tracer's
She's very
everything a flank
squishy.
person should be.
That's what I mean. She's very
I
good.
look at Tracer as a poor man's Genji. You can't do as much crazy stuff as
Uh,
Genji, but she's
I've
easier
had
to
a
play.
lot of fun on Tracer when I'm one clipping people in the face. Like
Easier to play, fills the same purpose. Maybe
I
has
have
a
the
bit more
most fun on
survivability.
Tracer and Reaper. That's like my 2 top characters. I think I've had the most fun on. The funniest
Tracer's
fuck.
cool. Tracer's cool.
I just like dive.
The internet's had a
Bench,
field day over.
venture. I
Well,
don't know
this
what I put
guy,
this bitch. Can I never play this cow or
this
he
this
or
guy
him.
right here, I'm calling it a he, right?
He looks like a he.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm anti-transformer, but that's a guy.
In it.
That's a
That's me
fucking
too.
guy.
DJ Georgie for life.
Just a guy. I'm sorry.
Just a
he's
guy,
fucking
bro.
Guy.
Are we saying nigger and stuff too? No cap.
Whoa.
Sheesh.
Who keeps joining and leaving, George? You've got some ghosts in this channel now, mate.
I haven't heard a single Discord noise, by the way.
Yeah, you've got it muted. I haven't, bro. But this ghost.
No,
you've
I
got
haven't
keeps
got my own
joining.
Discord muted. I've got it on my You know, you can hear certain shit.
Somebody keeps joining and leaving your channel, Jordan. It's getting a bit annoying. But
I'm not hearing any of it.
I'm glad
Trust.
that means the video's not picking up. But Venture, I'll say this: they got an interesting gameplay loop, but it's bullshit. It's stupid.
It's more like a fighting game character to me. Like you just literally click all your buttons at the same time and kill someone. It always feels like shit to get killed by.
It just feels like your entire build is a combo. And I'll say this as well. I hate the fact that you bastards, and I'm talking to Blizzard here, you bastards took my guy Reinhardt's ult. You neutered it. Destroyed
and give it to Venture, you
and
fucking
then gave
cunt.
it to this bastard.
And I'm an Overwatch 2 Ryan player. I like Ryan. Why would you do that?
One of the best ults in the game in terms of design, and you gave it to this bastard.
You give it to this
Why?
cow who can do it 4 times and literally wipe the full team with it.
Do it 4
Good job,
times,
Blizzard.
destroy shields, and that's that.
Very not gay character. Swear down. I'm putting it in gay.
Looking
Venture will
terrible.
always go in gay. I just can't help it. Obviously, last damage is Widowmaker.
All right, so if anybody doesn't care about the argument we're about to have, just skip forward 10 minutes.
In it. So, Widow can pretty much control the entire map by being alive. Sure, right, in 5v5 environment, you can get your tank to switch Winston or whatever and dive her, but you also give up all the space a tank should fucking use just by diving her. Also, she prefers you diving her because as both supports will lick her asshole and you won't kill her. What's the fucking point in this hero? She controls the entire map from being alive. She's not a tank. She's a cunt.
So I've alluded to this
Bosh.
already in previous heroes, but I'm an advocate for one-shots don't belong in this game. That
Yeah.
extends to Widowmaker. You could say, oh, it's balanced because she has to charge it up. No, she doesn't. She could just charge it and then wait and hold the pixel.
You can literally
and
sit
hold
in a
that
fucking corner like Siege. I did
No.
it in comp games and kill people. A piece of piss. Piece
No.
of piss.
I feel like it's exaggerated a lot, right?
No,
even
honestly,
going up
bro, it's
against-
not. Every single competitive game I've been putting in plat, Widow every single
This is
time.
Because people in plat don't know how to flank properly or don't know how to dive.
Yeah, I don't know how
properly.
to flank properly,
Yeah.
but shit like that. But like, fucking hell.
Like, look. Yes, your tank could go Winston or Diva, dive them. Yes. Or Doomfist, I guess. If your tank has brain damage, they could go Doomfist as well. Yes, that is a viable option, right? And your team could then play a dive. But if they're doing that on their own and your team isn't backing them up, your tank's just going into the death sentence because, as you said, they're going to be getting healed.
Yeah.
The best way of dealing with a Widowmaker is obviously a flank, right? You send the Tracer after her, you send the Genji after her. She's dealt
But
with, right?
The
Or you
problem
play full
is,
dive.
right, if you're a Tracer, you have to use all of your resources to get to the cow because she's fucking miles away in the literally like the back end of the map, killing you. You have to use all
It's
your
about the
resources to
execution.
get to her.
It's about the execution in high level Overwatch. So you could spend, say, 30 seconds setting the fight up, right? Knowing that when your team collapses, as it's called, the fight will be over in 10 seconds, right? So you're fair enough if you guys are fighting off wherever and your tracer has to crouch around the map and sneak like a fucking solid snake ninja to get to Widow. She can do that. That's her job, right? As long as she then dives a Widow and fucking kills her, that's fine. I don't care how she does it, just do it. Okay? A good flank player knows that you can't rush a good flank. You need to do it properly. You need to get behind, ideally without them knowing where you are. They obviously know you're going to flank, right? You've got a tracer on your team. Widow knows she's going to get flanked. But a good tracer won't tell them where she's coming from. A good
Cause,
Genji will do that even better. Obviously, he has the wall climb. He has, in my opinion, more mobility.
but like
Um,
a good Genji can only do so much. Like he can deflect and shit like that. Sure, you think a higher level Widow's not gonna go? I'm not shooting that. 'Cause I'm plat,
well,
and I'm
a
like,
good
yeah,
Genji
I'm not shooting that. Fuck off.
the Genji in the Elo I played had never relied on his reflect. Generally, if she's looking at you as Genji, you've already fucked up, right? You haven't flanked correctly. She knows you're there. You've lost. You've probably lost, right? And if she doesn't kill you, she's already called out that you're on her. Her team's gonna collapse on you. You're dead. But even if you go up behind her and you fuck your one shot up, or she's been healed, now her attention's diverted away from what it needs to be on. Your team can push up, take that space, kill whoever they need to kill, and move. I like her
Which
design for the fact that she denies map control and she
in
encourages
I,
people to take alternate routes. I like that. I just don't like the fact that she can one shot. And I think her ult is just, it needs changing. It's so shit. And Venom Mine as well. Venom Mine's terrible. In fact, when I think
all of
about it,
abilities are fucking shit.
the
Grapple and
only
hooks on
thing
a
she has
12-second
going for her,
cooldown, man.
the only ability that she has that's good, you could argue is the grapple, but even that's shit, yeah. The only reason she's taken is the one
It's
shot
good for
potential.
like grapple hook's good for like a pinch. Like if a flanker's come up your asshole and you try and get a look at snipe on them from like midair.
I don't like one shots in this game for the simple
I
reason
don't
of
either.
if you get a DPS on your team and they instant lock Widow and they don't get headshot value all game, they're shit. And
Bro,
for every fight you go into, it's a 4v5 because your Widow's off fucking fingering her asshole or whatever, and you just lose every fight because of it.
as a plat player, most games that I go into as a damage, like I play mostly fucking damage. I know how to aim. There was a Widow on the other team. The only way to kill her is going Widow. Every fucking time. I
I
will
think
go
that's just
Widow.
wrong. You said you like playing Tracer. Play Tracer.
I like playing Tracer and Reaper, but like when you're
Play
playing
Tracer
Tracer and
Widow.
Reaper and you try and get next to them, both the supports will go up their asshole and give them
I would not push
everything,
her as
man.
Reaper. I would not push her as Reaper because A, your teleport's loud. B, your footsteps are
I
loud.
don't teleport onto them.
C,
What I do as Reaper is I go in, I shotgun the life out of them. When I think I'm about to die, I rafe backwards. That is my whole thing as Reaper.
if you have to go deep on the flank to do that though, your Wraith isn't going to get you far enough away to safety. Well,
But most of
most
the
likely
time,
not. And
like
the team's going to
if
collapse
my
on you.
support is paying attention to me, my Wraith will save me. Like if I
I
move
think
back,
Reaper.
I move
When I
backwards,
say
it's
Reaper
such
can
a good
flank,
fucking damage. It's
when I
crazy.
say Reaper can flank, I mean as more like a soft flank.
But
You
his
can go even
teleport's like actually quite fast nowadays, you know, kid. And like,
yeah, it's loud though. It's telegraphed as shit.
yeah, it's loud because he says surprise or
Deafy.
income.
Well, what is it?
Well,
What did he...
what did he say? What did he say? 2 secs.
I'm pulling
What?
it up. I'm pulling it up. Sure, sure.
I'm trying to think of what he says. Death appears.
Death appears. I think he's one of them.
He does say surprise, by the way, but it's like random. It's like a very
It
small
might be
chance.
down to a skin that.
It's a small chance. Some voice chants have small chances of being said, and surprise is one of them. Surprise, flanking.
Oh yeah, she's flanking. Yeah, here we go. I've got a list. Bad omen comes. A
A
dark step.
bad omen
Beware the shadows.
comes.
Boo.
Beware the
Cloaked in
shadow.
shadow. Death
Cloaked in
appears.
shadow. Reaper's one of my
Flanking. I
favourite
have
characters in the game.
arrived.
If you want to know about my
The
favourite
shadows.
characters, Reaper and Roadhog. Reaper doesn't give a fuck. Shut up, monk. And Roadhog he's just like radioactive and doesn't give a fuck either. Some Australian cunt.
I remember when you said you were getting this game finally. By the way, Jord here, guys, he called Overwatch gay shit for like 4 years when I used to play it.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'll still
I'd
agree.
come in this Discord and I'd say, I've just finished my Overwatch game and he'd go, Overwatch is gay. You know, fair enough.
I'll
And I got
honestly
shit
say,
on for
guys,
playing
Paladins is
Overwatch
better.
in this Discord, and then this guy only plays Overwatch now.
I do be playing Paladins more nowadays,
This is cap.
where I can have agency. That is not cap.
But I don't like Widow. I don't like her.
That's the end of the damage kill. I'm gonna fuck. Anna, not really what to say about the cow. She doesn't really do much apart from anti the fucking tank 24/7. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think Anna is probably one of the best supports in the game because the amount of utility she brings to the table. The only offset is that she doesn't have mobility.
Yeah.
You got your anti-nade, that could easily change the tide of a fight. You got your sleep dart, that changes the tide of a fight. In low ranks like what you're used to, or like mid ranks, I should say, to be generous, right? 9 times out of 10, a hero gets slept and they'll immediately get woken up. But it's coordinated as hell in the high ranks. That is to say, if the Arna landed a sleep dart on your Reinhardt's effectively dead for the next like however many seconds, and the fight's over because of that.
Well, I've literally seen that in casuals where somebody
Yeah.
would sleep someone, everybody would surround them and bomb them, and they literally wouldn't have a
That
chance
could
to like
happen.
live.
That could happen, or they would just be ignored for a few seconds and their backline's killed.
Yeah.
So generally
So I
speaking,
don't have a problem with that cow. Like I've never.
the reason I like it is that every one of her abilities, both of them, have the potential of single-handedly winning a fight, and her nano boost is one of the most versatile ults in the game. You could use it as a damage ult, you could use it to keep someone alive, you could use it as a CC break, you could use it as all sorts of shit. It's really good.
So on to Baptiste, who, as a person that uses him, can say he's very much bullshit.
Stupid.
Like his gun has no recoil, so you can pretty much take out anti-air as you please. His AoE healing is a fucking joke. If you hit someone directly, it is more healing. So like you literally feed tank all game. He's a very bullshit character. His immortality makes up most of his bullshit. That is so fucking
Immortality
AIDS.
was a it's a strange thing, right? Because
Yeah, you can shoot it, but fucking out annoying.
my understanding of it being ability and not an ultimate is that it frees his ultimate up to do other stuff, and yet it still gives you as a support a way of like stopping damage ults and stuff, which is good. Except on paper it's good, but in execution it's OP as shit.
Yeah.
And they've tuned it so many times. Increased its cooldown. I think it used to be something like 12 seconds. They increased it to all the way to, what, 25, 30 seconds? It's still fucking annoying, bro.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
His gun recoil is reduced by 30%. If you use Baptiste recently, he literally kills any cunt he wants. It's kind of a joke. So,
Well, I got used to his
I
old I got used to his old recoil, and I tried out the new recoil. It's easier, but it's also you got
Less
that muscle memory
rewarding
in you.
and
It's
boring.
weird. Yeah.
Brigitte.
Then his heal burst is just lazy. Brig. Ooh.
He's a weird character because I can sometimes sit there and just deny dive all game and get like top healing. He's a weird
See, the
one.
way you deny dive with her is a whip now, but when she was originally added, she denied dive by stunning the dive and just killing them. Which, I'll be honest, she was my favourite support and she still is. I love the idea of damage to do healing. That's cool. It rewards you by being aggressive, but it also punishes you if you're too aggressive. And she can play up close with the tanks still. Not really, I imagine, because he's a lot squishier. but she can play sort of a mid range as well. She can move back to your back line, defend the other support. She can do a lot with Brig. I'm one of the advocates of give her a stun back, but I understand why it was taken away.
Yeah, it'd be fucking AIDS.
It was busted. And
Well,
obviously, Briggs the person who ushered in Goat's comp, which essentially destroyed Overwatch 1.
next on the list is Alari. I think she's personally absolute bullshit who can press a button and put a fucking pylon in a place she can't shoot it, and she gets unlimited value from it forever. She doesn't have a cooldown.
I don't like the idea of heal
destroyed.
turret.
It's very, very fucking gay and
I
boring.
don't play. I'll be honest, I've got minimal experience playing it. I got minimal experience playing against her.
If you ever
I
played
don't
her,
like the
you
idea
can
of the
snipe
turret.
anyone from across the fucking map pretty much as a healer. So why the fuck would you play DPS?
My understanding is she does a lot of damage, yeah.
She's literally got no
But that
fall
doesn't
off,
mean
I
she's
swear.
good. That doesn't mean she's good. I don't like that.
But she's fucking good at like killing pretty much
Her ult-
anyone far
her
away.
ult's interesting. Her ult's interesting.
The
I like
ult's a
the
fucking
idea.
joke for her ult, like support ult, 'cause it pretty much kills everybody in the vicinity.
I don't like it being a support ult because it doesn't do anything support wise. I'm
Just
pretty
kills
sure
everyone.
every other support hero, their ult heals every other support ult heals, or in Kiriko's case, enables healing, or in Baptiste's case, enables healing as well. I should specify. But Alari's doesn't heal; it does damage. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. Then on to Juno.
I hate Juno.
I've played Juno, and I think she is bullshit because you literally like if you get dived, you just leave. There's no like. You just use one of your two abilities to leave. Who
I
gives a
don't
fuck
like
if you get
the idea.
dived?
I don't like the idea of taking one hero's utility, the utility that they were added to the game to bring, and giving it to someone else, albeit a
Yeah.
lazier thing. She took Lucio's speed boost, and then, I can speed boost as well, but I can heal while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So why the fuck would you bring a Lucio now? Oh, because Lucio has his sound barrier.
Yeah, sound
All
barrier
right.
thing.
All right, but Juno brings pretty much like a heal ult as well. So like, what? I don't get what the fucking point in Lucio is now because of her. And I like Lucio. He's one of my favorite supports. In fact, he's probably my favorite.
In my
So
mod
Juno,
use.
I think's just lazy. I don't like her.
Then you go on to Kiriko, you don't really say anything about Kiriko. 'Cause probably every single fucking person that's ever played the game has
I'll
said
kick
that
off if you say anything.
Kiriko
I'll kick
is
off.
shit. Like I like.
If you say anything bad about Kiriko, all the fanboys will kick off.
I don't give a shit. I like throwing her knives, but both her abilities are absolute bullshit and stupid. So I'm obviously going to put her in gay.
Bring up the fact, right? And this applies to the new hero Hazard as well. Why is it that when Blizzard don't know like what to give a hero, they just slap wall climb on them?
Yeah, just give him wall climb, fuck it. Like Kiriko needs wall climb because she got teleport and she got Suzu. So obviously she needs wall climb.
My understanding is the reason she has wall climb is because the other two Japanese heroes have wall climb, so she can walk. What? Can Japanese
Racist.
people fly?
Just racist, really.
That's literally racist, yeah. It's racist.
I mean, like, I was put on the screen racist in drunk
I
writing.
think the idea of the Suzu is it's stupid. Like, oh, what's that? You've landed a skill shot sleep dart, or someone was out of position and they got punished.
No, I guess Suzu pussy. Oh.
I'm going to say the same thing with Life Weaver next, by the way. I don't like abilities which, oh, you were stupid and you got punished for it. Nah, it's all right. I'm going to unpunish you.
Well, let's move on to Life Weaver, shall we? I think his pull is better than a res. Because you're still alive, you're invincible, you're not taking out the fight whatsoever. You're not like, when you get rezzed, you're literally like, 90% of the time, you got the full enemy team surrounding your res and killing you instantly.
You know what, George? I think that's one of the more interesting points you could have made. I'm surprised to hear it coming from you because I'll say this now before we get to Mercy, so I won't repeat it then. But res, a lot of people think it's overpowered, but it isn't.
No, you just get surrounded.
You got to bear in mind that while you're rezzing, you can't heal. You're also not doing anything and you're exposed for a second. And then after the person gets rezzed, it's telegraphed so people don't focus them on Mercy. It's telegraphed. They can't do anything for a second, and they're probably going to die instantly straight away again. And it gives the enemy team more ult charge by doing that. So Mercy does all that, and then Life Weaver just presses one button They don't die.
pulls
They're
them out.
dragged back to
They don't
safety.
die. They're invincible
And,
for like 2
yeah.
seconds.
And
They
the
get
cooldown is what, like half or
15
something?
seconds. So they get healed whilst in the pull. By the way, I don't play Wife Weaver, but I can see when I'm playing fucking any dive hero when they get pulled, they're getting healed in it. They get healed
Mercy
pretty much
Res
to
is
max.
a 30-second CD. Life Weaver
15,
is
I swear.
it doesn't even fucking say, man. Oh, 18.
It's still better than the res. It's still
It's just
10
better.
times better.
It's better everywhere.
Because you're still in the fight. You've still got pretty much full health. You can go back in with your ult or whatever like that. It is 10 times better. When you're getting rezzed, it's like, yeah, the enemy team's going to surround you and you're going to fucking die. There's no way out of it. If you're playing a coordinated team.
Life Weaver's entire kit
Is a pussy kit. Like, I'll put me in gear.
I will help you not be out of position. So I will either
It's
pull you
very
or I will
fucking
elevate you to
annoying.
the sky.
I would rather play against a res that I can stop with a booper or something like that than a fucking pull every day.
Not to mention, I think his ultimate is really lazy in terms of design.
Yeah,
it just,
I hate his ultimate. Every time I'm Og,
it's just a Zen ult, but not as good as a Zen ult. But you slap
it's
it down
actually
somewhere,
annoying
you
as
continue
fuck when I'm
healing.
standing around it, and I'll use my hog ult just to get rid of it.
So it's
Fuck him.
150 health when you put it down to everyone, and then it's 90 every second and a half, basically.
Yeah, I'll use my hog ult just to get rid of it. Fuck him and his gate ult. Onto Lucio. Lucio's sound, mate. What can you say about Lucio, really? Like, if you're getting killed by Lucio, you shit at the game. So I'm gonna put him in fair.
I'm gonna say something about Lucio. I'm one of the few people who prefer Overwatch 1 Lucio. Now, don't get me wrong. I think going around the map at Mach 10 is really fucking fun. Being able to kill people as quick as you can, Lucio, really fun. The problem is that while you're doing that, you aren't a support. You're not doing any healing. If you're Reddit Lucio and you're listening to this video, I hate you. You are what's wrong with the support category. You don't do any healing. You're basically a glorified DPS. Go pick a DPS.
Also, to be fair, if you like, like Marvel Rivals Storm, where it's a damage but you speed boost, that'd be way more funnier than a healer that speed boost because you incentivize to just fuck off and kill people. That's literally the only thing I do on Lucio.
He used to have an identity in that you had to pick between doing healing or giving everyone a big speed boost, which back then, when everyone on average was slower, was a huge deal, right? If you speed boosted Reinhardt, he just wins the round 1v1. Simple as that, right? But now they had a Juno. Juno could just do that. They had a Junker Queen. Junker Queen could just do that. And on average, 9 out of 10 of the new heroes I did has something in the way of mobility anyway. So Lucio, I feel like his only identifier now is his sound barrier, and even that you've got Zen ult that just does it better.
Yeah.
So Lucio,
10 hours better.
He's fun. He's probably one of the more fun heroes in the game, especially support wise. But I don't think he really has an identity anymore, which is a shame.
Apart from like picking him if you got Ryan, that's about it.
But then you just pick Juno.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's just
Juno
sad,
just
man.
more healing.
Juno can heal while she's doing it, whereas Lucio, he has to stop his healing. He has to, yeah. He has a. I mean, he's the most mobile support in the game, bar none, easily. Unless you count Kiriko being able to fucking teleport for some ungodly reason.
Yeah, I should fucking aid.
It's stupid. So I don't know. Lucio's just Lucio, I guess. It's the golden days of Lucio are past us.
Now we're on to Mercy. Now I want to put like, from my personal experience, every time I fucking see Mercy, it's someone's girlfriend, and they are literally hugging their ass all game. They got damage boost, and I don't, so I lose. Good character.
Mercy's whole identifier is her damage boost. It was her res, arguably, but it's a damage boost. I like the idea of the res. I don't like the execution of it, where you can't heal while you're doing it. I preferred it as an ult. I'm one of the few people who preferred it as an ult, but I understand why it stopped being an ult, because it incentivized AFKing, so you get that play of the game. But when's the last... Listen, every support on the list, right? You've probably saw a play of the game from them at least once, right? Arna play of the game. Rarely happens, does. Baptiste, you can get play of the game. Brig, Ilari, Juno, then get play of the game. Kiriko, Life. You never see a Mercy play the game anymore, and it's sad. In fact, she never does any damage, really, because if you ever have the pistol out, that means that someone's not getting damage boosted. Damage boost, I think it's 25 or 50. I think it's 15% actually damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a big deal.
You can ban it
Generally,
with sword or something.
if you're
Just
not
rip shit.
doing, if you've not got 60% time on your damage boost, then you're wasting your time. Should be on a different hero. I think I like her because she's really easy to play. She's like the newbie support thing, but I don't like the fact that 9 out of 10 mercies I meet happens to be someone's girlfriend and is pocketing them. I think
Yeah,
it's stupid.
and they literally won't touch you at all ever.
I won't even look at you.
That's
Because then it'll
literally the
make
reason
you
why I hate the cunt.
daddy upset or some shit.
Now onto Moira. Now you know how I feel about Moira because when you play most
David
games with me,
Bowie.
I'm like, wow, this cunt is really skillful. He holds one fucking button down, throws a damage orb, and I'm dead. What a good character.
DPS Moira's aids. DPS Moira's aids. I like like I said on Brig, I like the idea of damaging to do healing, healing to do damage. The Moira is meant to balance that. But in
I hate her.
retrospect, the optimal way to play Moira, at least it was in Overwatch 1, I don't know if it is now, is to always hold right click and always damage orb. And whenever you're not damage orbing and you're on full energy, hold left click, turn your mouse sensitivity up to max and spin around for a bit. And it's really, really, what's the word? Dizzying. Because you're literally incentivized to never use your healing orb unless you need to heal yourself or you need a burst heal. And
I just fucking hate her.
I don't know. I don't like the design. I don't
I
like
don't
the
know how you
design.
sit in a room in Blizzard and like, yeah, which is Anna's cower? She doesn't need to aim ever. Like, if you're in the general vicinity ever, you just like die.
Not to mention Moira as a character, discount the gameplay. Is literally Blizzard want to make like a stereotypical smart character, so they just opened up the Oxford English Dictionary to like words of that no one ever uses or words that went extinct 30 years ago, and
Yeah.
that's all she uses, even if the definition isn't right. So you
Looks
can't
like-
understand a fucking thing she's saying.
Looks
And
like
that
David
apparently makes
Bowie,
her a thing.
absolute spacker. Don't
If
like her.
David Bowie was a butch lesbian,
Yeah, I fucking hate her. Bullshit, absolute pick. Every time I see a Moira pick, I'm like, yeah, you're shit at the game. You literally can't like play an FPS. If I'm being thoughts on Moira.
I mean, I'll give you that last one. I guess I play Moira when I'm bored. When I'm literally
Yeah,
can't
when
be
you're
arsed
bored,
to play the
yeah,
game.
like every time I see one, I'm like, you literally can't aim.
If
Why the
if
fuck
I
are you playing the
queue
game?
into support when I want to kill people, I go Moira.
If I want to kill people,
Or I
I go.
support.
Our last guy is Zen, which shouldn't
Zen,
be
yeah.
in support. This guy,
Zen is
anyone dives him, Discord, you're headshotted and kicked to bits. You are literally sat in a corner getting the
So-
shit kicked out of you by Zen. Crazy.
the
Crazy.
reason you think he is unbalanced, right? It's because in low elos, people don't punish you for being out of position, and also positioning doesn't matter as much. But in high elos, Zen is indeed made of paper.
But
The way I remember
my
back then,
natural
is the guy
reaction,
would do-
Travel, to every competitive game is always play cover. So I am literally untouchable.
But it's not just as simple as go and play in the back line and play on cover. You'd have to play in the back line, but close enough to your team to where you could peel to them, they could peel to you. You'd also have to play with cover, but also not with cover, because then you're going to get sombred and line of sight from the rest of your team. There was
If
a lot of
Sombra
little
jumps
things
me,
you had to
she's
consider.
fucking dead. Zen is
There's a lot of things you have to consider.
ridiculously OP. I can't describe how OP he is. If someone
If you
dives
land
him,
a shot to him, he's really good and he's
that's
rewarding.
what I mean. Like,
But
if
he's
someone
balanced
dives
by
him,
the fact that
they
he is the
discard
squishiest
him.
hero in the game, bar none.
He's like 250 health. That's not that's squishy to me.
Is he 250 now?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you're playing Zen and someone dives you, you discard them straight away because instant, headshot them, and kick the shit out of them. You can literally just spam kick. I'm pretty sure kick like 30, 40
Holy
damage.
shit, he is 250. What the
That's
fuck?
what I'm saying. He's a beast. Like, if anyone dives you, like even Tracer or shit like that, you headshot them, put them on the inch of life, and kick them to bits. You kick them in the corner. His kick fucking like is like 30, 40 damage and does knockback. Crazy. Craziness.
So, alright. I stand corrected, I've just googled it, you're right, he has 250 health. Now, back when I remember him being prominent, it was between 150 and 200. He had very little health. Most of it was shields. But I remember him having 150 for a period of time, and at that point in the game, you could, like, fair enough, he could do all the damage he wants, but all it takes is a poke and he's dead. So you had to play either with your team, but behind them. Or you had to play in Afghanistan, but also with your team. It was weird. And you had to look at the enemy comp. You had to know who's coming after you. You had to expect little things. I guess now, if he's really 250 health, which he is,
Yeah.
that's his identity's gone. Right? He's just a DPS. Then you're right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like,
Um,
I don't know why he's in healer or support when literally anyone dives him, discord in a 0.2 if under, he headshots them and kicks the life out of them on the floor.
now, in his merit, Discord also is one of the abilities that enabled Goat Comp to be a thing. We can't discount that. And also, his ultimate is bar none the best support ult in the game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's the best support ult.
Pretty much. Might as well be.
You press it, no one's dead. Unless
dead.
you can one shot someone
Or
who's in
anti it.
they're not dead. Or anti, yes, of course. Because it
The
does.
enemy team doesn't always have it, Anna. So
There's a ridiculous amount of healing. Off the top of my head, I think it's something like 300-ish a second, thereabout. 300, 400 health a second. And in the last 6 seconds, yeah. So 300 health a second, yeah, unless you're one-shotting someone, you're not killing them.
yeah. But
And
like,
it's one of the few ults in the game that can heal you through a Grav Dragons.
that's what I
as
don't
I
like about
remember.
Overwatch Ultimates. They're all fucking tide turners. So if anyone
like
wants
that.
to go like, yo, I don't like this fight, I'm just gonna press my ult button and win. That's literally like half of the game.
I'll be
It's
honest,
so
Joe,
fucking boring.
that's what I fell in love with in Overwatch 1. But one of the things that's changed since then is Overwatch 2, a lot of the ult have been neutered in terms of power level, and also the ult charge has been fucking obliterated, bro. You used to, over the course of, say, like a 4-minute game, you used to get probably about 4 ults, yeah. Like 3 or 4 ults. Now you'll be lucky if you get 2.
I'm not gonna lie, kids, some people's ults are a joke. Like, Zen's ult nowadays is actually fast as fuck. That's why he does it so many fucking times.
Oh, in terms of charge?
Yeah. They buff
So, I mean,
all
if
these
he's
unnecessary
killed,
things and makes people really OP for no reason.
If he's not killed, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't really need to be killed. Like, he literally sit behind a wall and just like heal his teammates and shit like that. You get it all fast enough, and you can just deny whatever the fuck they throw at him. There's too many things in that game like that. Like, oh, this ult changes the tide of the fight, we win. Your tank dies, we win. It's just so fucking stupid, man.
There you go. Overwatch Heroes.
In it, every single Overwatch hero, class. Hope you like my rating, guys. My rating's sick.
Heroes in support on your thing is ridiculous, bro.
But what? Like, honestly, I don't know what you expect. Like, you can't even look at any of these heroes and go, "Yeah, that's not gay," because it is.
Exactly what I expect, to be honest. I had to put Life Weaver and shit, but he is literally gay.
Yeah, gay, and I fucking hate all of his abilities, all of them, or every single one of them. Hate them. Petal, gay. Life grip, gay. Rejuvenating dash, gay. Stupid as fuck. AIDS. Hate him. If I could remove him from the game, I would. I like Kiriko's knife throwing, but like, she's gay as fuck as well. Same with Mauga and all the rest of that shit. Anyway, boy, that's been every single Overwatch hero discussed and why they are shit. Please subscribe. Sick.